So now we're going to get into aspects of formatting. Now that you know which pieces of an APA style manuscript are going in your paper and what those pieces are designed to do, here's how they need to be formatted. You need a page number in the top right. It needs to be actually in the header field in Microsoft Word, and you need to put it in there using the insert function. You need to have 1-inch margins on all sides, which will be under the layout menu. You need left aligned text with a ragged edge unless otherwise specified, meaning unless it's centered, it needs to be left aligned with the ragged edge, not the one that's like a newspaper where it fills up the entire width of the page. You need to indent the first sentence of every paragraph except the one in your abstract. Everything else, you're going to indent the first sentence of the paragraph by 1/2 inch. How do you know how big it is? Well, if you use the tab key instead of mashing your spacebar a few times, it should be standardized. But your tab key could be off. It could be 0.25. It could be 1/4 inch, or it could be a whole inch. So you need to go into your format settings, your paragraph and formatting settings, and just check that the size of an indent is 0.05. For fonts, you need to use sans serif rather than serif fonts. And this is more accessible, it's easier to read. So on the left, I have used Times New Roman, which is a serif font. And what that means is it has little flicks and curlicues and stuff on the ends of the letters, just a little bit of extra decoration, kind of like crown molding or something on it. Whereas I've shown Arial on the right side there, printed the word this printed in Arial, and you can see it's just extremely straight, clean lines with no extra little frills on it. Okay, so we want to use the ones with no extra frills, and these are called sans serif fonts. The sans serif fonts that are encouraged in your APA manual are Calibri or Arial, and those can be size 11, or if you use Lucida Sans Unicode, use size 10. Now let's talk about organization, where I'm going to bring up those headings that I talked about earlier with these levels. If you want to study these on your own, which you absolutely need to check them in your paper before you would turn it in, you need to go to table 2.3 on page 48 or figure 2.5 in page 49 of your APA manual, or in mine, this is actually on the inside cover as well. Most of your headings, such as abstract, your title on page 3, your method, those are going to be level 1 headings. You only need level 2 for those subheadings that go underneath method in your paper. So that's going to be participants, measures, procedure, analytic strategy. And if you put any like subsections in your literature review, which is purely optional, but you are allowed to do that, and they would need to be level 2 headings. What do I mean by level 1 and level 2 headings? Well, a level 1 heading is going to be centered and bold. A level 2 heading is going to be left justified and bold. And these are going to be in title case, just like your title on your title page. And then if we go all the way to level 3, it's left justified, in title case, bold, but italics. But you probably should not need to go to level 3 headings for anything. So here's an example on the right of what some headings in a paper would look like. We have method, that's a level 1 heading, and they had subheadings underneath method. Method has many steps to it for this paper. They're not the same as yours, but they would still be level 2 headings because they're nested underneath method. They have site of study, participant population, and then under participant population, they recruited both teachers and students. So they have a level 3 heading that goes underneath participant population for both of those. You will not need to go that deeply nested in headings. Their results also have multiple headings underneath them. Yours will not need to go that deep, but here's just an example. So in the past, when I just tell people how to do level 1, level 2, level 3 headings, I've noticed they don't understand what that means sometimes. So they might put a level 1 for their first heading. Let's say for the introduction where you put the title, they would make that a level 1. And then when they go down to method, they would make that a level 2. They thought level 2 just meant the second one. What we mean by level is, what is it nested underneath? Is it part of a bigger umbrella category? And if it is, then you need to go down a level.